So you're a call center supervisor where you and your management team have two key concerns that occupy your thoughts: how to live coach and train the team, how to elevate their skills and their abilities, and how to observe their customer interactions, their calls, ensuring quality of service and adherence to policies and procedure. What's more, you need to manage these things potentially with distributed agents, perhaps in different call centers or even working from home. How do we manage such things? Well, that's where Supervisor Assist comes in. Over the next few minutes, we'll introduce the essential features of Supervisor Assist and walk you through the process of both coaching and training your remote agents and organizing and tracking observations through remote listening sessions. First, let's get logged in, and then we'll deal with managing sessions and then observations and coaching. So open up a browser and point to https:// and then the address of your Supervisor Assist server. Remember the colon and port 8443/SA for Supervisor Assist. Then hit enter and we get the login page. Enter your username and your password and we're good to go. Now, ultimately, here in the home screen, we'll have two options: manage and monitor. Right now, we just have manage because we haven't organized anything to observe just yet. It's with the manage tools that we'll organize our observations and coaching, and it's with the monitor tools that we'll actually do the observations and coaching. So go ahead and click manage and let's get organized. Now, there are three things to understand before we get to work. One, the overall aim is for us to observe or monitor a percentage of each agent's calls over a given period of time. Two, there may be multiple observers or supervisors, and we're happy for any of us to observe any agent during that given period. And three, Supervisor Assist uses the concept of teams for managing observations and coaching. Observer teams, comprising supervisors or observers who will do the observations and the coaching, and observee teams, comprising those team members who will be observed. Okay, first then, I'll create an observer team for me and my fellow observers in the support department. Click plus to add a new team, enter the team name, support observers, hit enter, and the support observers team appears in the Teams panel. Now you'll notice how to begin with the team is empty. So the next task is to add the observers to the observers team. Over in the users pane, I'll find me. Note my supervisor tag here denoting my special role, and I'll drag myself over to the support observers team, making me the first team member. And I'll do the same for my two colleague observers, John and Sarah. It's worth noting the search field up here. It's really useful when there's more than just a handful of users in the list. Note too that users can be added to more than one team and that they can just as easily be removed from a team by clicking the X here next to their name. So with an observer team ready to go, the next task is to create a team of observees, the agents perhaps to be monitored. I want a team for the new recruits, so here we go, the same steps as before. Click plus to add a new team, enter the team name, support observees new, and hit enter, and the support observees new team also appears in the Teams panel. And just as before, I'll drag users from the user list to the new team, in this case my new agent recruits, one by one until the team is complete. Incidentally, if you need new agents added, well, see the administrator and they'll add them in for you. With teams created, the next task is to organize an observation session. And now, an observation session specifies four things: the period of time over which the observation should take place, the team to be observed, the team that will perform the observations, and a percentage target for how many of each observee's calls will actually be observed. Now, I want a session for my new support team with a goal that between us observers, we'll observe 50% of their calls during this next week. So, here we go. Here in the listening sessions pane, that's where we manage the observation sessions. I'll click plus to add a new session. And in the session details modal, I'll choose a name for the session, support new, set the start date and the end date, and my target amount of calls that we as observers intend to observe, 50%. I'll click OK, and lastly, I'll tell the session who we intend to observe by dragging the Support Observees New team to the Being Observed pane, and I'll tell the session who will perform the observation by dragging the Support Observers team to the Observing pane. Great, now we have a listening session to help us support observers track and manage observations of the Support Observees New team during this specified week. Okay, with an observation session organised, the next task for me as an observer is to, well, get on with the observing and the coaching of the team. So I'll head back to the home screen, and because we've now organised an observation session, I also have a monitor option which I'll click, and straight away I'm taken to the monitor screen where I see a dashboard of all the agents in the Support New observation team. Great, I can see for each observee how many of his calls have been observed so far, allowing me to prioritise who I choose to observe next. It also shows me who's online right now and if they're currently on a call. I see that Kieran here has had none of his calls observed, and oh, hang on, he's just taken a call, so he's the one I'll choose to observe now. I'll click Observe, and directly I'm taken to Kieran's observation screen. And even better, the call's audio is immediately streamed to my headset, meaning I'm now listening in. I'm now observing the call. Now, although you as an observer won't see it, Supervisor Assist also pops a notification to the observee telling him that he's now being observed. I'll go ahead now and click to view the agent's screens. And great, the agent's screens are shared to my desktop, both his first and his second monitor if he has two. I see exactly how he's using his agent interface, and if he's sharing screens with a customer, how he's guiding the caller. Supervisor Assist has some great tools that help me coach and train the agent during an observation session. For example, I can exchange chat messages with the observee privately between me and the agent, not seen by the customer. I can use the Spotlight tool here to highlight something on the screen that I want the observee to notice. And if I need to, I can even take control of the observee's mouse and keyboard and perform the required action myself, training him, the agent, as I go. Imagine during the call the customer asks something the observee doesn't know, perhaps how to perform a voice-operated Google search. And imagine I notice his hesitation. Maybe he's not been taught this yet. No worries, I'll message him a tip through the chat window. Tell customer to click the mic, knowing that only the observee will see the message and not the customer. Just to reinforce the point, I'll also grab the Spotlight tool and point it to the mic in my view of the observee's screen. Again, only the observee sees the spotlight, not the customer. But, my goodness, this must be the agent's first ever call. He messages me for more help. Sorry, how do I do that? No worries, I reply. Click to enable remote control and I'll show you. And with a single remote control click from the agent and a single click-through click from me, I begin controlling the observee's screen with my mouse and keyboard. I'll click the mic on his screen, perhaps a share of the customer screen, showing both the observee and the customer how to perform a voice search. So, as observer, during a listening session, I've got great tools to coach and train the observee. There's two-way chat, through which the observee and I can message each other with questions, answers and tips. There's spotlighting, through which I can highlight parts of the screen that I want the observee to notice. And there's click-through, with which I can take complete control of the observee's screen. After the call, back in the observations dashboard, the observee's status is now updated, his percentage calls having increased, and I'm ready to observe my next agent to find my next priority. By the way, an observee doesn't need to be on a call to be observed. I can see that Frank here is online, but not in a call. Well, I'm free to click and observe at any time, perhaps to see what he's doing right now or to provide some one-to-one training. All the features of chat messaging, spotlighting, and take control are available in any observation, either with or without a customer call. Okay, so far we've seen how Supervisor Assist helps us as observers organize and track the observation, coaching, and training of our agents. Before we finish, though, there's one more feature I'd like you to know about: how observees can request help when they feel they need it. Let's roll back the previous how to voice search scenario and look at it from the observee perspective. Imagine this time that the observee is handling the call without an observer observing the session. This time, when the customer asks something he doesn't know, well, if he likes, the observee simply clicks Raise Hand. Immediately, I, as an observer, and all the other observers, in fact, are notified there's an observee who needs help. Well, I'm available right now, so I'll click to begin an observation session with John, and we're ready to go with the same chat for messaging questions, answers and tips, the same spotlighting for highlighting something on the screen I want the agent to notice, and the same click-through for taking control of the observee's desktop. The same cool features we saw in the observer-initiated sessions. Great. Oh, and raised hand observations count equally well towards our observation targets. Okay, so that's Supervisor Assist. It's a great tool to help you organize and track how you observe, coach, and train the agents in your teams.